What's up, beautiful people? In today's video we have got the Polyrachis dive setup. I have since had an additional queen or two queens since this. If you haven't seen the unboxing video, you'll see I ran into some difficulties due to faults of my own, and Antics actually decided to send me an additional 2 queen colony. I now have a 1 queen colony, which is doing well, which you'll see at the end of this video. I also have that 2 queen colony arriving. The 2 queen is probably the one that I'm going to be adding to this setup, purely because I made it too custom to the size of a 2 queen colony. So I hope you guys like the build anyway, and if you haven't yet, join the Discord server, like, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more updates like this. But as always from me, peace and love. I'm out. What's up, beautiful people? Initial layers is super easy. I've got so many videos doing this. Leca, drainage, soil. As easy as that. The soil mix has charcoal in. Here I'm just looking at what hardscape I want to do or how I want to lay it out. Once I've done that, I get the soil in and then get that scape set. Once I've decided on the hardscape, I will then be adding certain things into that soil mix, like these tiger worms here and the worm castings, dead wood, and certain things within that mix into it, because I will be also adding millipedes and isopods into this setup. So I want to make sure that they have the best chance of producing before the dives actually go in here. All I'm doing next is gluing these pieces together. I use cotton wool and super glue cyacrylate. It basically melds all together like cement, and it's a super easy and effective way to do it. And as it's drying, you can see how solid it's stuck to that cork piece there. That is the base, and I will be building upon that. I only actually used 3 pieces to create this sort of tree, and I really like the final result. But I'll show you what I mean. These 2 pieces are touching here. I've already glued a piece in the center of the log, and then basically I do either side, or any touch points really that I feel necessary. There's your chemical reaction, and once you've done that, it's pretty much set or setting. And then just chuck some soil on the top as it's setting, and then that's it. You can't see it, it's not messy, and it attaches to it. Like I say, I've done this either side of it, and once that's piled up, I do sort of take a little step back for you, and I gave it a good watering down before I started adding more soil. The reason I did that though was because I wanted it to be wet in certain layers. I wanted a little bit to go down at the drainage layer while I can, and then I also at the same time I'm adding certain pieces of log hardscape as well to create different dimensions and surface area within that tank. I'm sloping everything towards the back. I'm using these larger pieces of oak or dragonstone to create barriers or borders between different soil levels. That way it will add a lot more scale, and you can see there it looks much deeper and bigger than it actually is. It is a 2-foot tall tank by 40 centimeters by 40 centimeters, so it's still a decent size, but you know, it does add that extra scale. My moss propagation tubs, if you haven't seen the video for how you set these up, I'll put a card in the top corner for you. I started adding some moss and some cuttings. I will list the cuttings at the end or towards the end of the scape, just in a big list or pile, so you can see every single plant that I put in here, but I will just list generally all the plants so you can see what I've used. All I do next is get fabric, I double it over, put it on the tree, and then attach it with hot glue. I can then lay the moss on it, and it'll keep it hydrated whenever I water it down, or at least that's the plan. I'm hoping that they nest here regardless, but if they do, then that moss will be dead anyway. We'll see what happens, and if they do, then that's fine. You know, that's the whole purpose of the tank, so they can kind of mold it to what they want it to be. I'll also be showing you or listing all the species that I put inside this setup. I'm just going to run a little bit of footage so you guys can watch me adding all of the species into the setup. I am really happy with the choices that I made. I'm hoping that they do reproduce before the dives go into the setup. That is the ultimate achievement for me, really. I just need to make sure that they get the numbers up before anything goes in, but I will be trying to add those in as soon as possible. So it was a little bit of a rush. I did add these in straight away, and I do think they'll be doing a lot of work below the surface, especially those worms, and I am confident that this tank is going to thrive. And this is how it looks after it was finally built. I do show you some footage of it 2 weeks after I set all of this up. The only thing I did is I added an extra couple of cuttings, which I included on the list of this. All I was pointing there towards the bottom is that basically the worms have shifted some things up in the soil or the substrate, so I'll add another little thin layer. The plants that I've added, I'm also pointing out that they'll be going upwards towards the back or climbing up. As that starts to get more established and mature, I really do look forward to seeing that. This is the colony, and these are the new batch of eggs that they've finally laid 2 weeks later. So I am really happy about this. If you did like the video, again, smash that like button, subscribe. Remember, join the Discord server. And as always from me, peace and love. I'm out.